I've been exploring how AI sees our modern social trends, and I asked Notebook LM, an AI system from Google, to explain the Tradwife movement. Given our conversations here about gender roles, I felt this was something you had to hear. It challenged some of my own thinking, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave me a comment on Spotify or YouTube. This is the first episode from my new series, AI Explains Love and Romance. I started the series on sort of a whim, and some of the episodes are deeply amusing, but some are incredibly insightful. I've produced 17 episodes so far, and I am publishing them weekly. The series name, again, is AI Explains Love and Romance. Here is episode 1.
So if you've been online at all lately, you've definitely seen it.
Oh, for sure.
That soft lighting, the 1950s floral dress.
Yeah.
And someone spending hours making homemade sourdough.
Right. You've stumbled into the Tradwife world. Today, we're diving into this whole internet subculture. You're thinking influencers like Nara Smith or Ballerina Farm.
Exactly.
And they're all about a return to these pretty strict mid-century gender roles.
So the mission today is to figure out, is this like a real return to traditional values?
Or is it just a beautifully curated digital fantasy? That's the question.
It really feels like a fantasy. There's even a word for it, for that feeling these videos give you. It's anemoia.
Anemoia, right. Nostalgia for a time you've never actually lived. And that's a really powerful psychological hook. Our sources suggest that for a lot of people, this isn't even really about, politics or submission. It's a reaction.
A reaction to modern burnout, which I get it. It makes so much sense. We've just come out of this girl boss era. Hustle culture, lean in, break every ceiling. It's exhausting.
It is. So when you hear someone like Alana Kate Pettit, who's a big voice in this movement, describe it as being under his wing instead of under his feet.
It sounds like a relief.
It does. It frames this whole division of labor as like a safe harbor from that double burden of having a career and running a household.
But that's where the dream crashes into reality, isn't it? The hard data.
This is exactly where it happens. The sources we looked at show this just massive economic disconnect between the 1950s fantasy and, 2024.
If you are enjoying this look at the Tradwife phenomena, please consider subscribing to my newest podcast series, AI Explains Love and Romance. It's available on all major podcasting services. That's AI Explains Love and Romance from Elton Sherwin. Now, let's return to our AI dynamic duo.
Yeah, let's unpack the math.
Yeah.
Because the numbers are stark.
They are. The whole living on one income idea, it relied on an economy that it doesn't exist anymore.
A completely different world.
Exactly. After World War II, you had strong unions, housing was affordable, the system was built for single-income families.
And now?
Well, look at the Housing Affordability Index. In the 1970s, that number was over 85%.
85. Wow.
By 2024, it had plummeted to just 31%.
So you literally can't live like your grandparents did because the economy that let them do that is gone.
It's just gone. And that creates this huge paradox. To actually pull off the slow living aesthetic you see on TikTok, the beautiful farmhouse, the organic food.
The time to actually churn your own butter.
You need a significant amount of modern money, a lot of it.
And that's the detail that always gets me. We see someone like Hannah Neeleman on screen as just a homemaker.
Right.
But the research shows she's really the co-CEO of a huge agricultural business. Nara Smith is a professional model.
Correct. They're not women who just opted out. They're very successful businesswomen. Their homemaking is funded by very modern, very lucrative revenue streams.
So it's not an accessible standard.
Yeah.
It's a luxury product.
It is. And we do have to touch on the broader political side of this, too.
Right, because the sources show it's not just about baking bread. There's a whole spectrum.
There is. A lot of it is just innocent, aesthetic enjoyment. But some sources do note that this cottagecore imagery can be a sort of gateway.
A gateway to what?
It can sometimes overlap with alt-right or even white supremacist ideologies. The soft, gentle aesthetic can be an entry point to much harder politics.
And then there's just the personal risk. We call it choice feminism.
Yeah.
It's her choice, so it's empowering. But the legal world has changed so much, hasn't it?
Oh, significantly. In the 1950s, marriage came with very different legal protections, things like alimony guarantees.
Nifty nuts.
Exactly. Today, if a woman leaves the workforce entirely to depend on her husband, she's taking a huge financial risk without those same safety nets. If it doesn't work out, she's in a much more vulnerable spot than her grandmother would have been.
So what we're looking at is a trend that correctly identifies a real problem, burnout, but offers a solution that's basically impossible for most people to actually achieve safely.
That's a great way to put it. It's a psychological escape hatch, but it hides all the labor and, frankly, the privilege that's required to keep it going.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If the Tradwife lifestyle online requires filming, editing, brand deals, and managing a huge social media presence to even be possible, is it actually traditional at all? Or is it just a new kind of demanding job, just one that's disguised as leisure?
A question definitely worth asking.
Thanks for diving in with us.
This is Elton Sherwin. Thanks for making this podcast part of your day. I invite you to follow my new series, AI Explains Love and Romance. It's available on all major podcasting services. That's AI Explains Love and Romance from Elton Sherwin. Please subscribe and recommend us to your friends and family. Join us next time. Meanwhile, stay safe and stay healthy.